What's going on? How y'all doing? So the Dave Chappelle show got moved off of Netflix. They say they did it as a request to him. But the bottom line is that Dave Chappelle wasn't paid for the show. You know, it's funny when you think about how big that show was. Now, I might not have been that big on him, but his skits were big. He had big time skits. You can't deny them. They were big. House catchphrases, a way of life, if you will. But he's a black man in Hollywood. And they don't want you to have ownership. Think about Nick Cannon. And now they got him on this tour, apologizing and all that. Nick pulled Wild and out. They don't want Nick to have his say. Think about Michael Jackson with Sony buying up the Beatles catalog. See how they did him. Having your masters having to say, can't be too black, too powerful. Think about Flip Wilson, who's one of the greatest comedians ever. But he's been ostracized. He's buried beneath Bill Cosby right now because he was a black man who had syndication dollars and ownership. So Chappelle, who's been influential regardless of where you come down on Chappelle, but one of the most important entertainment figures over the past decade. But they don't want him to have a dime. Think about Monique. Monique won all kinds of awards. Monique then dominated in film, TV, stand-up. But she got whiteballed by Hollywood. And Chappelle is finding it out. Don't be surprised if there be a surviving David Chappelle. They'll try anything to railroad you. See, I'm going to tell you like this. When they come after you, you have to wonder, is it really about the law? Or are they coming after you because they just trying to bury you when you're black? You got to kind of wonder about that. And you have to appreciate somebody like Tyler Perry, who has been able to operate and do his thing, but he knew that the system didn't want him. So he used what he could get. But he had to pretty much be self-made and do it on the other side. And that's why we have to come together. You have to come together. But Chappelle and Netflix ain't nothing but a scam, another hustle, another racist quota operation. Don't get me started about that, how they done Monique. That's why I don't mess with Netflix. I took it personal how they did Monique. And they don't want to give Chappelle his money. Like I said before, they would rather, if you were black, they want you to beg and step and fetch. They don't want to give you nothing. So this whole thing with him and Viacom and all that, it comes back down to having your ownership and having your rights. Because if you don't own your masters, your master owns you. And many people have told you the same exact words. That's what got Sam Cooke got killed behind it. Ray Charles had told you. Michael Jackson told you. Suge Knight told you. Prince told you. And others. I'm one of those kind of people that firmly believe that's the main reason that R. Kelly's locked up right now. It ain't about no justice. Because he was asking about that money and the masters. See, when you're a black entertainer, especially black, and Taylor Swift, I heard she's recording on her material, she's trying to get her masters back. And they sold hers for $300 million, but she doesn't have the same black experience. It's different between black artists and white entertainers in this regard. White entertainers tend to get some kind of kickback or something. Black acts, they want to run you to the ground, pimp you, and they've always had that edge on you. It's not the same. Because they don't look at black entertainers and black people in the same type of respect level. They expect you to build them businesses into billion-dollar corporations, but they don't put people who look like you, talk like you, and act like you in those positions. So it's very telling. So I hope Chappelle gets his cut, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run him out. Think about Bill Cosby. He wanted to buy NBC, and they didn't smear him enough. They don't ever want to have him get touched again. Like I said before, you wonder who's really doing what they're doing. Because it ain't based on what you see as actual and factual. That's my thoughts and takes about Dave Chappelle. with Netflix pulling the shows, but he never got paid for it. And they trying to keep his ownership away. Hit the like, hit subscribe, wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another, and you have to always fight twice as hard when you're black for what you got, because you don't get the same opportunities and chances. It's still the same. I'm out.